Well, it's Shark Week 2025, and you know what that means. Wall-to-wall great whites, hammerheads, and the occasional celebrity getting paid to dangle themselves over the side of a boat while someone with a GoPro prays for views. But while the world celebrates one of nature's oldest and deadliest apex predators, I find myself asking, where the hell are the sharks in Doctor Who? Sure, you can count Bond and his laser sharks, or dredge the murky depths of B-movie hell with titles like Sharknado, Sharktopus, and anything with mega and shark in the title slapped together like a sci-fi intern's fever dream. Buffy the Vampire Slayer gave us a mob boss literal loan shark, a joke I forgot in an episode about memory loss, no less. Happy Days gave us the meme-worthy moment of Fonzie jumping the shark. Even Scooby-Doo did a man-shark monster of the week. And yes, Peter Benchley, author of Jaws, even tackled the fish-man hybrid in Creature. Heck, Star Wars The Clone Wars gave us Riff Tamson, a shark-headed warlord who made Kit Fisto look like a guppy. But Doctor Who? Outside of one painfully ridiculous space fantasy shark pulling a flying sleigh in A Christmas Carol, you'd be hard-pressed to find our favourite toothy predators represented in the Whoniverse. Unless, of course, you dive into the expanded media. Welcome to the Snake Pit, where we're full of bile and venom. I'm your host, Snake Daemon, and today I'm diving into the deep end and the expanded universe to uncover Doctor Who's deadliest finned menace, the Selachians. The Selachians were the Ocaran soldiers of the Selachian Empire, bioengineered for war, complete with enhanced exosuits that turned their aquatic forms into amphibious tankmen. Picture this: cold-eyed alien sharks crammed into battle suits that not only let them stomp around on land but pack plasma cannons, fear-inducing visors, and a bad attitude. Think Judoon if they actually had style, firepower, and weren't used as comic relief. Originally introduced in The Final Sanction, these militaristic predators emerged after the Kalarian species invaded their ocean world and treated them like dumb animals. Think whalers with a space license. But the Selachians evolved, built breathing rigs and weapons, then turned the tide, pun intended, by invading the Kalarians' homeworld, conquering 3 more planets for good measure, and forming the Selachian Empire. These guys didn't just take revenge, they franchised it. Their lore spans across novels and audio dramas. They fought the 2nd and 8th Doctors, tried to sell weapons to less advanced worlds, including a little blue and green rock we might know, and even got into it with the Cybermen. One story even saw them using nanite-enhanced battlesuits, self-repairing war machines with AI countermeasures. It's criminal that we've had farting Slitheen and not one on-screen Selachian war march. So, why haven't these guys made it to the screen? Blame cost? Maybe. Aesthetic complexity? Possibly. Or perhaps the showrunners think fish people in battlesuits aren't relatable enough for modern audiences. That didn't stop Star Trek from giving us fish people with laser tridents. Frankly, the Selachians would be a perfect modern monster, relevant to themes of climate displacement, militarism, post-colonial rage, and xenophobia. You can even go horror with them. Imagine a submarine-based story, Selachians lurking in the shadows, knocking on pressure doors like the Abyss meets Aliens. A Cold War in the deep, and something's knocking at the hull. Act 1, Into the Deep. The TARDIS lands uninvited inside Hadley Station, an isolated and underfunded UN outpost originally meant to study geothermal anomalies, but now mothballed after a mysterious incident. The last known signal was a garbled distress beacon repeating the phrase, "They've adapted, we should not have drilled." The Doctor and companion find flickering lights, warning klaxons, and corridors flooded ankle-deep. 1 or 2 frightened scientists remain, survivors of a recent incursion, who speak of monsters outside the viewports, something in the shadows of the trench. They say they're being watched through the water. The pressure is rising, but the monsters aren't breaking in. They're already here. The creatures stalking the station are Selachians, but not the pristine imperial conquerors of old. These are descendants of a splinter colony, long marooned in the Hadley Trench after a failed covert operation in the 1970s, buried by UNIT as anomalous sonar activity. Isolated and altered by centuries of deep-sea pressure, geothermal radiation, and adaptive bioengineering, the surviving Selachians have devolved into something between soldier and deep-sea horror. Their ancient battlesuits, once advanced exoskeletons, are breaking down, half fused with coral and rust. Yet they're still lethal. Plasma vents hiss like hydrothermal bursts, and camouflage systems flicker like bioluminescent jellyfish. They strike from the darkness, silent and swift, like sharks evolved for stealth war. The Doctor uncovers their goal. They're not here to kill, but to signal, a final call to the stars. They've been preparing to send a quantum distress pulse to the remnants of the Selachian Empire, hoping to be rescued, or to bring reinforcements and reclaim the planet. The companion makes contact with one of the younger Selachians, smaller, faster, less indoctrinated, who begins to question the rigid military hierarchy the survivors still cling to. The Doctor confronts the Alpha Selachian, a battered but brilliant tactician named Korshak, who believes war is their only path to survival. Korshak accuses humanity of being the new Kalarians, dominant, invasive, and ripe for conquest. In a classic Doctor moment, there's a standoff in the control core of the station. The Doctor has to choose between helping the Selachians escape the deep and possibly rekindling a war with humanity, or sealing the trench forever, knowing it means dooming a whole culture to die in silence. But there's a twist. The station itself is breaking apart due to pressure overload caused by a geothermal instability, sabotaged by the Selachians trying to send their signal via a volcanic energy burst. If it goes off, it could cause a Pacific-wide tsunami. The Doctor, working with the more open-minded Selachian youth, reroutes the signal into the TARDIS's matrix instead, broadcasting a diplomatic message, not a war call. In the final moments, the Doctor offers the surviving Selachian sanctuary on a neutral ocean world. Some accept, others vanish back into the trench, choosing exile over change. As the Doctor and companion depart, a final sonar ping echoes through the trench. Something ancient is listening, something Selachian-y, or worse. A toothy silhouette swims past a shattered viewport. Roll credits. Environmental decay and militarism, Cold War legacies and the weaponization of nature, isolation versus identity, what becomes of a war species when the war is long over, adaptation versus evolution, biological survivalism as horror, reminiscent of The Thing, the abyss and underwater, moral ambiguity, are the Selachians monsters or simply what we made them? When it comes to shark representation in Doctor Who, the expanded universe is where the real meat is, and the Selachians are the alpha predators of the bunch. They're intelligent, intimidating, and filled with enough backstory to fuel a whole series of episodes. With the budget, FX and tone of New Who in recent years, the Selachians are long overdue for a proper on-screen debut. Frankly, I'd take a plasma cannon-wielding shark in body armor over another emotionally misunderstood alien blob any day. Thanks for dropping by the Snake Pit, where we thrive on untapped potential and lost opportunities. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell, like the video, and leave your opinions in the comments, where, naturally, I won't read them. Until next time, stay venomous.